Good morning, my dear students. My name is Nir Toyana. I am currently available at the Hamlet Tuition Center, Brahmatol, Kathmandu, and the Kumudini Kunja Secondary School, Kalimati, Kathmandu. My dear students of grade 8, this is your science class, and we have been discussing on the lesson light. Okay. Well, in our previous class, we discussed about plane mirrors, isn't it? In the title of types of mirror, we discussed about plane mirrors, and in today's class we are going to discuss about spherical mirror. Well, the word spherical, it actually comes from a sphere. A sphere means a ball. Okay, ball like shape is called sphere. Okay, just imagine that you are given a ball. Okay, you are given a ball whose outer surface is coated with reflective substance like silver. Okay, outer surface is coated with silver, and then you cut that ball by using a blade. Okay, you cut straight through that ball by using a blade. Then what you have in your hand is a spherical mirror. Understood or not? Well, in another case, what you can say that you are given a ball. Okay, you are given a ball whose inner surface, just imagine, okay, as I say, inner surface is coated with reflecting paint such as silver. Okay, inner surface is coated with silver. Then you cut a portion of that ball, and once again what you have a mirror because it reflects light. Yes, you have a mirror, but its surface is not plane, so it is not a plane mirror. It is what? It is spherical mirror. Okay, so the mirror which is a part of a sphere is called spherical mirror, and the surface of these mirrors are either bumped up or grooved in. If your ball is coated from outside, if your ball is coated with reflecting paint from outside, then it is bumped up. Yes, its reflecting surface is bumped up. If your ball is coated from inside, then the reflecting surface is grooved in. Okay, so here I have given you two examples. In this case, just suppose that this thick black line, the thick black line is non-reflecting coating, a non-reflecting paint, and the thin black line is reflecting paint. Okay, so in this mirror, since it reflects most part of light, it is a mirror, but its surface is not plane, so it is not a plane mirror, it is a spherical mirror. Okay, and its real life picture is given here. Okay, and next, in this mirror also you can see that the thick line is non-reflecting paint and the thin line is reflecting paint. That means this is non-reflecting surface and this is reflecting surface. So in this case also you can see that the reflecting surface is bumped out. Okay, this is a mirror, its surface is not plane, so it is not a plane mirror, it is curved mirror or spherical mirror. Its reflecting surface is bumped out and its reflecting surface is grooved in. Okay, so the mirror in which the reflecting surface is grooved in, it is called concave mirror. Okay, concave, you can relate this word to cave, isn't it? Cave is always grooved inside, just like a cave, it is also grooved inside, so you can relate this term. Okay, so this mirror is called concave mirror, whereas the second mirror in which the reflecting surface is bulged out, it is called convex mirror. Okay, see that real life mirrors are also given in the picture. This is an example of concave mirror and this is an example of convex mirror. You can see that its surface is bulged outward, yes, and its surface is bulged inward. Okay, and you can also see the difference in the image formed by these mirrors. Yes, the convex mirror forms large, no sorry, the convex mirror forms smaller image than object. Okay, the convex mirror forms smaller object than smaller image than object. Okay, whereas concave mirror forms, if you keep the object near the mirror, it forms large image, but if you keep the object far from mirror, then it forms small image. Okay, if you keep object near the mirror, then it forms large image, but if you keep the object far from mirror, then it forms smaller image. Okay, whereas convex mirror always forms small image. Okay, moreover, convex mirror always forms erect image. Erect means upside up. Okay, upside up, whereas concave mirror always forms inverted image. You can see the cup, the cup is hanging downward, isn't it? But in reality the cup is not hanging downward, it is resting on the table, but the image is just inverted. Okay, so if you happen to stand in front of a concave mirror, then you will see yourself inverted. Okay, you will see your head is hanging downward. Okay, the ground is up and sky is below. You will see it like that. Okay, so I guess you have spoon at your home. Do you have spoon at your home or not? If yes, get a spoon on your hand. Okay, if you have spoon, then get the spoon in your hand, and you can see that the backside of spoon is actually a convex mirror. Okay, the backside of spoon is actually convex mirror, whereas the front side of the spoon is concave mirror, because the front side is grooved in, isn't it, and it is reflecting. The front part is grooved in, whereas the back side part is bulged out, so it is convex mirror. And see your face in that spoon on both sides. What do you notice? See your face. Okay, in the front side you will always see that your face is inverted. You will always see inverted image of yourself in the front side of spoon, whereas in the back side of spoon you will see your face very small, very small. You can see, but very small. Have you tried it? Okay, you should try it. Yes, do try it. Well, if you have done that much, then you should know the difference between the image generally formed by concave mirror and convex mirror, because you have a concave mirror and convex mirror in your hand. Yes, actually it is in your kitchen. Okay, well, let's continue. So I hope you have already taken the notes. Spherical mirror, the mirror which is a part of a sphere is called spherical mirror. The surface of these mirrors are either bumped up or grooved in. Types of spherical mirror: concave mirror and convex mirror. Concave mirror, the mirror whose surface is grooved inward is called concave mirror, and the convex mirror, the mirror whose surface is bumped up, is called convex mirror. Okay, any confusion up here? Okay, now see, today we are going to discuss about the terminologies related to spherical mirror. Well, as I already told you, spherical mirror is usually a part of sphere, okay, whose either inner side or outer side is painted. In this case, suppose this sphere is made up of a glass and the outer surface is painted with non-reflecting paint and inner surface is painted with reflecting paint. Okay, then you take a small part of that sphere. Now this is a spherical mirror. Okay, what is this mirror called? It is called concave mirror. Okay, now see, if you extend the curvature of mirror, if you extend the curve of the mirror, then you will always get an imaginary sphere. Okay, if you extend the curve of mirror, okay, if you continue to imagine the surface of mirror, then it will always form an imaginary sphere. Okay, and that imaginary sphere is called curvature. Curvature means the sphere which is continued from the curve of the mirror. Okay, this is called curvature. Got it or not? Understood or not? Any confusion? Okay, now if the curvature is a sphere, then definitely it also has what I was going to say, a center. Yes, if it is a sphere, then definitely it has a center. Yes, and through that center you can always draw a line, straight line, which is perpendicular to the mirror. Okay, I forgot one thing. The reflecting surface of mirror is also called aperture. The reflecting surface of the mirror is also called aperture. Okay, and the central point, the point which lies exactly at the center of mirror or center of aperture is called pole of mirror. Okay, the exact center point of the aperture or of the mirror is called pole of mirror. Okay, so if you join the pole of mirror and center of curvature, okay, the center of curvature, did I tell you about center of curvature? Definitely this is the center of curvature, isn't it? The name suggests for itself. Okay, this is the center of curvature. Okay, you know curvature? Yes, you know curvature. Curvature त थाहा भयो हैन? कर्वेचर थाहा भयो है, हो त्यो कर्वेचरको चाहिँ सेन्टर हो क्या यो। यदि यो स्फियर हो भने सेन्टर त भइहाल्छ हैन? कुनै पनि स्फियरको सेन्टर हुन्छ, या कुनै पनि सर्कलको सेन्टर हुन्छ है, सर्कल स्फियर दुवैको सेन्टर हुन्छ भनेपछि यसको पनि सेन्टर छ। यो कर्वेचर पनि एउटा स्फियर हो भने चाहिँ यसको पनि सेन्टर छ। सो यो सेन्टर कसको हो त? यो कर्वेचरको सेन्टर हो। त्यसैले नाम नै के छ? सेन्टर अफ कर्वेचर है। अहिलेसम्मको पोइन्टहरु टर्म्सहरु हेर त। सुरुमा नम्बर 1 तिमीले के बुझ्नु पर्यो? एपर्चर है। नम्बर 1 एपर्चर बुझ्नु पर्यो। ओके, नम्बर 1 एपर्चर र नम्बर 2 मा तिमीले के बुझ्नु पर्यो? कर्वेचर। नम्बर 1 मा तिमीले एपर्चर बुझ्नु पर्यो, नम्बर 2 मा कर्वेचर बुझ्नु पर्यो, नम्बर 3 मा सेन्टर अफ कर्वेचर बुझ्नु पर्यो है। कर्वेचर र कर्वेचरको सेन्टर हैन त, सेन्टर अफ कर्वेचर बुझ्नु पर्यो। नम्बर 4 मा पोल अफ मिरर बुझ्नु पर्यो हैन। हो यति भइसकेपछि अब तिमीले के इमेजिन गर्न सक्छौ भने पोल अफ मिरर र सेन्टर अफ कर्वेचरलाई जोइन गर्ने हो भने एउटा इमेजिनरी स्ट्रेट लाइन आउँछ हो। त्यो इमेजिनरी स्ट्रेट लाइनलाई हामी के भन्छौं त? हामी प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस भन्छौं। प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस, एक्सिसको मिनिङ नै के हो त? ठ्याक्क बीचबाट हिँड्ने लाइन, ठ्याक्क बीचबाट जाने लाइनलाई एक्सिस भनिन्छ है। यो गाइड हटाइदिए मैले है। यति टर्म बुझ्यो? ल यसलाई पनि नम्बरिङ गरौँ। प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस भनेको नम्बर 5 है त, नम्बर 5। ओके, यति बुझ्यो? एपर्चर बुझ्यो? एपर्चर भनेको मिररको रिफ्लेक्टिङ सर्फेस, मिररको रिफ्लेक्टिङ सर्फेसलाई एपर्चर भन्छ। नम्बर 2 मा कर्वेचर, कर्वेचर भनेको यो मिररलाई एक्सटेन्ड गर्ने हो भने यसले एउटा इमेजिनरी स्फियर बनाउँछ, हो त्यो इमेजिनरी स्फियरलाई के भनिन्छ कर्वेचर भनिन्छ नम्बर 3 सेन्टर अफ कर्वेचर यो इमेजिनरी स्फियर जुन छ यसको सेन्टरलाई के भनिन्छ त सेन्टर अफ कर्वेचर भनिन्छ नम्बर 4 पोल अफ मिरर यो एपर्चरको ठ्याक्क बीचको पोइन्ट एक्ज्याक्टली बीचको पोइन्टलाई हामी के भन्छौं त पोल अफ मिरर भन्छौं है नम्बर 5 प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस सेन्टर अफ कर्वेचर र पोल अफ मिररलाई जोइन गर्ने हो भने एउटा स्ट्रेट लाइन आउँछ त्यो स्ट्रेट लाइन जहिले पनि के हुन्छ त अलवेज परपेन्डिकुलर टु द एपर्चर या मिररसँग यो चाहिँ अलवेज परपेन्डिकुलर हुन्छ ओके हो त्यो लाइनलाई इमेजिनरी लाइनलाई के भनिन्छ त प्रिन्सिपल एक्सिस भनिन्छ है बुझ्यो यति ओके अब सेन्टर अफ कर्वेचर र पोल अफ मिरर को ठ्याक्कै बीचको जुन पोइन्ट छ यो पोइन्टलाई हामी के भन्छौं त ठ्याक्कै बीचको पोइन्टलाई हामी फोकस भन्छौं या फोकस पोइन्ट भन्छौं है ओके फोकस पोइन्ट यो चाहिँ कति नम्बर 6 ल यतिमा केही कन्फ्युजन हुन्छ कि हुँदैन है अब यो सबैको एकचोटी नोट्स लिनु पर्यो नोट्स लेख्नु पर्यो ल लेख्दै जाऊ त नम्बर 1 ओके नम्बर 1 मा हामीले के भनेको थियौ एपर्चर हो ओके एपर्चर द रिफ्लेक्टिङ surface of spherical mirror is called aperture and number 2 मा हामीले के भनेको थियो curvature हो the imaginary sphere which is of which the mirror is a part is called curvature right imaginary sphere of which the mirror is a part जुन imaginary sphere को चाहिँ त्यो mirror एउटा part हो त्यसलाई नै हामी के भन्छौं त curvature भन्छ है नम्बर 3 मा हामीले के ल्याएको थियौ center of curvature भनेको के हो त the center of the imaginary sphere is called center of curvature. It is represented or it is denoted by C हैन यसलाई क्यापिटल C ले इन्डिकेट गरिन्छ डिनोट गरिन्छ नम्बर 4 मा हामीले के भनेको थियौ पोल अफ मिरर हैन पोल अफ मिरर द एक्ज्याक्ट center point of the aperture is called pole of mirror. It is denoted by P. P stands for P for pole. Right? P for pole. And this is number 5 मा हामीले के भनेको थियौ principal axis. Principal axis भनेको के हो त the imaginary line that connects भन्दा पनि that runs through center of aperture and pole of mirror is called principal axis. And number 6 focus. Focus is the midpoint of center of curvature and pole of mirror. Okay, why is it called focus? That we will be discussing in our next class when we discuss about drawing a ray diagram. Okay, this much for today. What I want you to do is memorize all these points, yes, all these terms, because knowing all this terminology is very important for what we are going to do in our next class. Okay, in our next class we are going to draw ray diagrams. Okay, in our next class we are going to draw ray diagrams of image formed by concave mirror and convex mirror, and for that purpose you need to understand, or you need to understand the concept of all of these terms. All these terms are necessary for that. Okay, that is why today I need you to recall, or I need you to revise several times on these terms and practice this diagram several times. Okay, so until then, thank you class. We'll see you in our next class. Okay, and keep your geometric box ready for our next class. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you.